Hi everybody, Chris Schaefer, it's Brad Rhodes, and this is the Greenbrier River Virtual Captain's Meeting. Today we're going to go over all the information you're going to need to know for the upcoming Greenbrier River Tournament. Things like camping and river access, registration, and just some general safety tips for the river. So stay tuned and we'll be right back.
All right, guys, welcome back. We're going to cover a couple of things for the tournament. Camping, I want to go ahead and say that real quick. There's not very many spots left on the river, so if you got a secret spot you'd like to go to, you might want to get to it. But definitely look into camping. Look on the website. Just Google camping in the area and see what you can find, because a lot of them are selling out quick. We're going to go ahead and go into check-in, check-out, all that good stuff. We're checking in that morning. First of all, I want to say Stewart's Barbecue Smokehouse is going to let us do our check-in that afternoon at their place, and they own some property up the river where we're going to check in that morning. I'm going to post it on the map, and we'll put the location. Maybe you can hit it and Google it and all that good stuff. But we're going to check in there. Times for check-in. What times for check-in, Chris?
5:45 to 6:30.
5:45 to 6:30. Not a minute later. Be sure if 6:30, we're gonna be gone.
there really won't be anybody there at 6:30.
So if you be early, can't stress that enough, because these guys who check us in, they like to fish too, so they got to head out just like we do. So be sure to be there by 6:30, no later. Definitely no later. Check in is going to be at the barbecue place. Be sure to stop fishing at 3 p.m. No later. Be out of the water by 3, and you have to be back by 3:30. Once you're past 3:30, you're late. So we don't want that. So are we going DQ for late, or are we going inches for late? I don't remember.
You have the initial penalty for being late the first 5 minutes, and then after 15 minutes you're disqualified.
Yeah, so definitely be out of the water by 3 and be back by 3:30. The group float. You want to talk about the group float?
Yeah.
Putting in that.
Yeah, last year for the people that came out to the Greenbrier River Tournament, we actually put in there at the Greenbrier River Campground, which is a little ways up from Alderson. And this year we're changing that a little bit to expand the group float a little bit, and also put us on some better waters, we think. And the people there at Stewart's Smokehouse were gracious enough to let us use their property for registration that morning. It's just a little bit above the Fort Springs access point on the Greenbrier River. So we're going to hold registration there in the parking lot, and then everyone after they register can go down, just right down the road to the Fort Springs access point, which we'll have up on the map. That you'll see in the video, and put in, and you'll actually float down to
the restaurant.
Yes, the Stewart's Smokehouse restaurant. You can actually pull out there. You have to walk up a little bit of an incline, but we'll have people there to help you get your boats up and everything. And that float is probably about 5 miles. If you would go on and float all the way down to Alderson, that adds about another 1.5 miles to the float. So, which you don't technically have to take out at Stewart's. If you got some time, you've made it down the river a little quicker than you thought, and you want to float down to Alderson, you have a way of getting back to Stewart's by 3:30. As long as you're off the water by 3, that's fine. So the group float is from Fort Springs down to about 1 mile above Alderson. We'll have something hanging from the balcony there at Stewart's Smokehouse, so when you're coming down the river, you won't be able to miss it. We may put a Mountain State Kayak Anglers flag or something out there, so you all don't miss it whenever you're coming down.
Right.
So pull your boats up there, walk up. Don't forget to bring a little bit of extra cash, because they're going to be serving lots of great food.
Ribs. Everybody likes some ribs.
Yeah.
I like ribs. Also, guys, remember, if you are camping at the Greenbrier camping. You can still put you can still put in there just like last year, right?
Yep.
Or we took out there last year. That was.
No, you actually put it in
We
there.
put in there last year. You can still do that. You don't have to put in where the group float puts in. You don't have to do that if you're camping at the campground. Be sure to remember that. But on to the next. What we got? We want to talk about safety. We got a lot of guys I talked to at the last event who's never been on a river, and I can't stress enough, a river is a whole different ballgame. Chris can tell you, he's been upside down river a time or two. Right?
Sure have, yeah.
Sure have.
Yeah.
But we just want to be sure everybody knows that use the buddy system. That's the only thing I can, definitely take somebody with you. Don't go by yourself unless you're very familiar with the area. Even then, I don't recommend it. I don't do it. I very rarely do it by myself. But any safety points you want to throw out?
Yeah, the Greenbrier River this time of year it drops, it gets a little lower, and it can be deceiving in some areas.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to watch out if you're out, get out of your boat or waiting or anything for drop-offs, things of that nature. Always have your PFD on you. And like Brad said, if you can try to stay within eyesight or shouting distance from a buddy, that's always a smart thing to do, because I've seen it happen several times on the river, especially when you get concentrated on fishing. Your kayak can get turned sideways where you're floating down facing the bank, and like I said, the river drops a lot on the Greenbrier this time of year, but it still moves in areas pretty fast. And if you're not angled correctly, if you come down and hit a rock, it's going to throw you over, and that could end up hitting your head, getting a hook stuck in you. I mean, there's a number of things that go wrong there. Losing your identifier or your hog trough. I actually lost my hog trough on the Greenbrier River tournament last year, and there's a lot of things you got to take into consideration. Rivers can be a lot of fun, and this river by no means is as dangerous as something like the New.
Right.
But if you don't take the right precautions, you can get hurt. So.
Oh, definitely. I mean, it's a lot more fun to me, but
Yeah.
it's a lot more dangerous. Just remember one thing: wear your PDF. Don't take it off. Just don't take it off if you have to.
Yeah, you can get out of your kayak during these tournaments as long as your kayak stays tethered to you in some sort of fashion.
Mm-hmm.
So just again, if that's something that you do, be careful. You don't want to take a chance of stepping off and drop off with your kayak on you and
get your ankle stuck. I've got my ankle stuck one time. It scared me to death.
Yeah.
But it's a whole different ball game. Like I said, it really surprised me the amount of people who hadn't been on the river that I talked to at the last tournament. I just want to tell you guys, just be safe. If you have any questions, hit one of us up. If you want to go with somebody that's been on the river before, definitely do that. I mean, ask people. You been on the river? I'll go with you.
Yeah.
It's different, especially like you said, the river gets really low, and you can hit bottom. And if you're standing, I'm gonna tell you, if you're standing in your boat and you hit bottom, it's not fun, because you'll get wet.
Yeah, it's another good point. Is there will be, depending on where you decide to float on the Greenbrier, almost all of you at some point are probably going to get out of the kayak at some point to drag through something. The rocks are starting to get a little slick. They're starting to get a little bit of algae and things on them. So if you step out, watch your footing, because that can cause you to fall.
Don't wear sandals.
Yeah, not a good idea.
Don't wear sandals.
some
no flip flops.
Basic equipment things I would recommend. We want everybody to have a good time while they're out on the water, and your trip can go from great to very bad real fast if you lose your paddle and it floats down the river before you can get it. So I would have a paddle leash or come up with some way. Have rod leashes. Have some sort of way of securing your hog trough and your identifier. Those are a couple of things: the paddle, your rods, your hog trough, and your identifier that you can quickly lose in the river, and it's going to ruin the rest of your day. Try to take some sort of measure to prevent that beforehand, and it may save you a lot of pain. So
yeah. I keep an extra paddle in my boat.
Yeah,
and
that's
I
a good
take
idea.
it apart and I keep it in my boat. So you just never know on the river, because it could be a long day paddling with your arms. I mean, it can be bad. But also, something that we forgot to talk about a few minutes ago was the night before registration. We didn't cover that. we're going to do that at the campground. I'm assuming it's going to be probably around 8 or 9.
Yeah.
I'll post it at the end for sure to make sure. If you're going to come in and do it that night, we'll be at the Greenbrier River camping. If you register that night, you don't have to come to the morning one, of course. You can't make any casts till 7 o'clock. Just remember that. All other rules are the same. But we'll be there. I think Jeremy will be there. Ben will be there. John, I'll be there. You'll be there. We'll all be there. So come up and see us and check in. It might save you some time if you got a pretty good drive in the mornings. It definitely save you some time. So
because the entire river is open.
Yeah.
You do not have to float the group float. But the advantage of that is we will provide some shuttling back to the cars at Fort Springs. So if you're by yourself or don't have a shuttle, that's probably your best option. But you can put in anywhere you want to on the Greenbrier, just as long as you're not fishing before 7 o'clock and you're off the river by 3 p.m. that day and back at registration by 3:30.
Yeah. But be sure, don't be late. In the morning, just remember, no later than 6:30. 5:45 to 6:30. Being said, he's gone. He's fishing this time. He's not going to wait around, so he'll be out. Anything else to go we missed? I think we got about everything covered. Just safety. I just want you guys, I can't stress that enough. Wear your PDFs. Like the man said here, get some rod leashes and some paddle leashes.
Yeah, if you have at the house a whistle, it's not bad to have that around your neck in a river. A whistle is always a good idea, or attach it to your PFD. And if you're one of those people like me that have multiple rods in your boat and you're fishing them all, as you float down the river, if you can, it's probably not a good idea to leave your lures just dangling in the river, because if you take a spill or something, that's a hook that's going to be kind of out there to catch you. So
you're going to be Josh Summerfield.
Yeah, you don't want to have a river float and another 3 miles to go down the river with a hook lodged in your thigh or something like that. So.
Definitely. But we hope to see a bunch of people out. Looks like we're going to have a lot. There's how many signed up already on the? Said they're coming.
86.
86. That's a bunch of people.
If we have 85, first place is guaranteed $1,000.
$1,000 bucks, man. I can use $1,000. Can you use $1,000?
Yes, I could.
I can definitely use $1,000. But my wife could use $1,000.
Yeah.
She ain't got the last. Well, she got some of the last one already. She's slowly getting a little trickle on a little bit on it.
That's why you got to spend it as soon as you get it.
Yeah, as soon as you get it. But I'm going to post a lot of maps at the end, and during this while we're talking, I'm going to put some maps up of our put in, our takeout, and the float. So.
We're also going to post on the event page 2 links. One link was West Virginia Game and Fish a couple of years ago did a write-up on all of the different floats on the lower part of the Greenbrier. It's a great read. If y'all haven't looked at it yet, it actually breaks down all the different sections that are within a manageable driving distance of where our check-in is going to be that afternoon. And it's a lot of really good information. It kind of talks about the class of rapids you may find on a couple of the different floats, the lengths of the floats, and the quality of fishing on some of the floats. So it's something you may want to look into. And then the second link we're actually going to post is the DNR site that actually breaks down each individual put in an access point for the individual floats on the river, so you can actually look at that and see the distance and things like that, get directions of where some of those access points are. So kind of just let you do a little strategizing before. So we'll post those out on the event page too.
The one you sent me is a really good article. It tells you about the floats. It tells you put-ins, takeouts, even tells you some of the fish they caught.
Because there are a couple of Class 2 rapids on different stretches of the Greenbrier that you want to, if you don't feel comfortable in that type of environment, you need to read that article to make sure that you avoid that float. Mm-hmm. So,
because I don't think the one you lost it on is hard to get around, isn't it? The one you lost it on a while back.
It's a long walk if you try to pour it. Yeah, it's you can get around it, but it's a good walk in shallow water and things like that. So.
And that gets dangerous too, walking in them rocks. I'm telling you, you'll bust it up shins and everything else. But that pretty much covers about everything we want to say. If you guys have any questions, hit us up. Send us a message, text us, whatever you got to do. Just if you have any questions, be sure to let us know. If you're concerned about something, a certain float, ask us. Maybe we can help you out. But other than that pretty much covers it. Anything else you got?
No, I think We're ready to go. It's gonna be. I think there's gonna be like last tournament. A lot of people's gonna catch limits. So a lot of fish caught. I can guarantee it.
Mm-hmm. A lot of fish caught. Hope some big fish caught.
Yeah.
In my boat.
Yeah.
But you guys have a good time, and we'll hope to see you up there. And bring your friends, right?
That's right.
Bring all your friends. We can
See if we can get 100 people.
Yeah, I can take 100 people. Yeah, we did. Got some nice prizes too, guys. Be sure to come out for that too. So we'll see you next time. Peace out.